What's up, YouTube? How are you guys doing? Coming back to you with a follow-up video to my first video where I was, contemplating, taking my CDL training through Prime or Rail. Well, I'm coming back to say a decision has been made. And I'm going to go through that process, let you guys know what company I decided to go with, and just give you guys a feeling. So for me, what I'm going to say is that I'm not saying today my decision was that one company was better than the other company. They are both great companies. Prime and Rail, great companies. All my research, everyone that I talked to about them, great company, great track records, great trucks, great people, great management. But what I'm saying is what I base my decision off is which company was a better fit for my personal situation, my family dynamics, how much time I need right now to be at home, how much time, I can afford to be away, the process and everything that's going on. And so, and my criteria may be a little bit different from your criteria because it's different from everyone, what we're looking for and what we expect and what we need out of the company. So again, it's not that one was better than the other, just one was just a better fit for me than the other. So here's how I did it. I basically did my research and it came down to three areas. The first area that I used to really, sort of get an understanding of both these companies and to compare them was really the first impression. Going back to recruiter, right? It's the face of the company. It's the person who is responsible for selling the company, informing you about the company, telling you about the company. And that process, when you go through that with your recruiter, those first conversations, you should feel excited. Like you should feel like, okay, wow, this company has a lot to offer and a lot of things that I'm looking for. That's the first thing you should. You should be excited about this company based on what this recruiter has said to you about it. And does that line up with the research that you've done? Well, for that area, I give the nod to Rail because they were just a little bit more excited. The recruiter gave me just a ton of information about the company, more so than my prime recruiter did. Whereas I think she was maybe more just kind of focused in on, qualifying me and making sure I was qualified for the program as opposed to saying, hey, here's who we are, here's what we can do. So the first impression that went to Rail. There was a little bit more information there, and I was just a little bit more excited than I was based on the conversations with the prime, but they were still in the running. The second criteria I used was during that process, did the recruiter really level set with you? Did you really understand like what you were going to have to do from today until the first day that you came and showed up for your CDL training class? Did you understand that process? And here with that, I mean, what I was looking for there is just simply the explanation. Here's all the things that you got to do from today and to the day you show up. You have to take your DOT physical. That's the first thing. Sign up for that. What day can you take it? Next week, the prime recruiter's like, okay, just let me know when you've done that. And the Rail recruiter was like, well, no, don't. We're not just going to say next week. What day can you take it next week? That way we both have an expectation. We've level set, and that way we've set a goal. So we can walk through these things in a timely fashion. So, okay, that's cool. I can take it next Tuesday. All right. If you don't call me Tuesday by 6, then I'll reach out to you Wednesday morning to see that you've accomplished this. Okay, that's cool. Bam, did that. She reached out to me, got that taken care of. Next thing in line, you've got to go and take your drug test. When can you take that? I can take that Thursday. What time Thursday? Thursday morning. So it was really structured. The process, it seemed like Rail had a process, right? And she walked me through that. You got to do this, then you got to take a drug test. You got to take your COPs. Here's what you got to study for. Just a nice, smooth process. I knew exactly what to expect every step of the way. When I did this, I knew what was next. As opposed to, again, I give the nod to Rail here again. So that's 2 out of 3 for Rail. The process was just a bit more organized, a little bit less confusing, and she made me set goals and she held me accountable to those goals. The third piece was, how did she explain that he or she explained that onboarding process to you, right? In terms of the expectations, what you're going to do once you showed up at training. Here's our process for our new, our new trainees. You're going to show up. Here's what day one. Here's what week one's going to look like. Here's what's going to happen in week two. Here's what's going to happen after you get your CDLs. Just really laid out that process. Again, I knew exactly what to expect. And in this area, I think they were really close, right? Because they were both really good at really explaining, here's what, your training is going to look like. Here's what you're going to be expect. But, to cut it a bit short, I chose to go with Roehl, right? And ultimately, I chose Roehl for those three reasons. But then after I obtained my CDLs, the things that I needed now, Roehl provided more of those and met my needs more so there than Prime did, based on my dynamics, based on my family, based on having a teenager graduating high school, the things that I need short term, spending time with her, and then long term after she graduates. Roehl just fit into that space with my life right now a little bit better. And my criteria was, I want a company that's going to be able to fit into what I'm doing, not necessarily take my life and my family and try to finagle that to work for a company. I don't want to change my whole life around too much and uproot and do all those type of things. So Roehl was my choice. And I have to say that I am finishing up my third week with Roehl, and I'll get into a video about that later. But I do not regret making this decision. They've been great. The process has been great. I test out with them for my CDLs on Thursday. So I'll give you guys an update on how the entire process has went, and we'll talk about that. I'll let you know how it's been, good, bad, or indifferent. And then after I test for my CDLs on Thursday, I'll give you guys a follow-up again. So it was Roehl. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, like, subscribe, comment. I want to hear from all of you guys out there about this. Let's go Team Roehl. Until next time, peace and love, guys.